Okay, hello everyone. Before I start it, let me introduce myself. My name is Salwa Haulia with ID student number 2025005078, and I'm from Nusa Tenggara University student, and my major is information system. So today I'd like to talk about something we've all become quite familiar with: online learning. Over the past few years, we've witnessed a massive, almost overnight shift in how education is delivered. What was once an alternative has now become a mainstream norm. This transition wasn't just a random change, it was a significant paradigm shift, accelerated by global necessity but driven by long-standing technological evolution. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to break down this complex topic. Well, first explore the undeniable benefits that have made online learning so popular, such as its flexibility and accessibility. However, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Well, then critically examine the equally significant challenge, like the digital divide and the lack of personal interaction. Finally, we'll conclude by looking how we might move forward. Let's dive in. Okay, benefits and challenge. First and foremost is flexibility. Okay, so let's start with the benefits, right? First and foremost is flexibility. This is the big one. Online learning allows us to access course materials and attend lectures from virtually anywhere, at any time. The geographical and temporal freedom is a game changer, especially for students who are juggling work, family, or other commitments. It essentially breaks down the physical barriers of a traditional classroom. And then secondly, there's the aspect of accessibility and cost effectiveness. Not only can we learn from top universities around the world without leaving our homes, but it can also be more affordable. We save on commuting, accommodation, and often digital textbooks are cheaper than their physical counterparts. However, we must be put to the challenge, and they they are substantial. The most pressing issue is the digital divide. This isn't just about having a device. It's about having reliable high-speed internet, a quiet space to study, and the digital literacy to navigate these platforms effectively. This disparity creates a significant equity issue in education. Another critical challenge is the lack of social and academic community. Let's be honest, staring in a screen is not the same as being in a room full of peers. We miss out on spontaneous discussion, nonverbal cues from our professor, and that sense of camaraderie that builds in a physical classroom. This can lead to feelings of isolation and demotivation. Finally, online learning demands a high degree of self discipline and time management. The freedom that I mentioned earlier can be double edged sword. Without the structure of a fixed schedule, procrastination can become a major handle, and staying motivated requires a level of self regulation that not everyone has developed yet. And then next, sorry, the conclusion first. The conclusion. So, to wrap things up, online learning is not a simple black and white issue. On one hand, it offers unprecedented flexibility and access, truly democratizing education in many ways. On the other hand, it presents seriously challenges related to equity, community, and personal discipline. The key takeaways there is that technology itself is just a tool. Its effectiveness in education depends entirely on how we implement it. The future, I believe, doesn't lie in choosing either purely online or purely traditional models. Instead, it lies in a strategic hybrid approach, a blended learning model that combines the best of both worlds. We can leverage the flexibility and research of online platforms while preserving the invaluable human interaction and community of in-person classes. And then we move to Q&A session. Yes. The first Q&A, how can institution practically address the digital divide you mentioned? And then the second question, do you think the social aspect of learning can ever be truly replicated online? Okay, uh, and this is my prepared answer. The first answer, this is the good question. Before it, institution can take several concrete steps. For instance, providing subsidies, laptops or internet, stipends for low income students, creating on campus study hubs with real teach, and perhaps most importantly, design course materials that can be accessed offline or with low bandwidth to accommodate those with poor connectivity. And then the second answer, I think replicated might be the wrong word. Maybe facilitated is better. Why? We can't fully recreate the spontaneous hallway conversation. Platforms are getting better at fostering community through breakout rooms, collaborative projects, and dedicated social forums. It requires a more intentional effort from both instructors and students. But it's definitely possible to build a strong sense of community online, even if it feels different. And maybe that's enough for my presentation. I hope you got a lesson and this is um, useful for you all, guys. Maybe that's enough for me. Thanks for the presentation. And as I say, thank you. Bye. See you.